How is that classified? Is it someone that shot a gun, or they thought they heard
It's
it?
just
shooting?
people hearing noises and calling it in.
Thinking
So
that it's-
there
think
may
it-
not
thinking
have
it's-
any
yeah.
adjustment or any evidence of shots being fired. There's shell casings and those type of things. It's just the sound, so it could be any number of things.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions for the chief? Okay, and municipal services, any questions for Dan? How is that progressing with that one sewer collapse?
We're gonna get to it this week. Hopefully start excavation next week. We still have not, we just recently received the title search, and it's a little bit ambiguous at best still, with the easement language in there. Again, the question is whether the easement is dedicated to the city of Darien or to the county of DuPage or back to the property owner. So we have to go back to the county, get additional documents based on this title search. With that said, we're moving forward with Scorpio Construction, getting that scheduled, and hopefully we'll be digging it by next week.
Well, that makes, that gives me a reason to question this. We're going to go on the record of having Scorpio do this work, but what if it does fall into the purview of the county?
Then we'll have to work with the county and try to get reimbursement. I mean, right?
Wouldn't we want to do it the opposite to get them on board first?
The answer is yes, but depending on what the documents say. One of the documents refers to an easement of 1969. So while we were incorporated in 1969, the question may become, does the city now take over what was in the county prior to? So it could be additional research. I want to be careful with how much time we spend on research, because if it goes on for months end, I'd rather not take the opportunity and gamble at something more destructive happening.
Okay, all righty. Alderman MacGyver?
Yeah, thanks. Dan, I noticed, when did the street sweepers come through? It wasn't that like within the last week or so?
I wouldn't say it was last week, probably several weeks ago. There will be street sweepers coming through here very shortly.
Yeah, I saw them Friday in
You
our,
know what?
in Farmingdale Village.
They may have been out this week. I was on vacation for the whole
Yeah.
week, so I have not caught up with some of the tasks. Chris may have.
Yeah, because it seems like the leaves falling this year are kind of weird.
It
Like
is.
half of them are down and half of them are still green on the trees, which is very peculiar.
Right.
And it seems like even though they swept on as recently as Friday, you would never know it. And it just seems like, is it worth,
Having it
Ye-
this soon?
having it this soon, or,
Well, you know what it is. I mean, there's parts of town, depending on the type of tree,
yeah.
the area has already been barren. So we're addressing it from a point, okay, this area's been, the leaves have fallen, let's clean up this area. So we don't
I'll have to go
initiate an entire, whatever, 3, 4 sweepers in at one time, or wasting time, and knowing that we're gonna be back there within 2, 3 weeks. So we do monitor
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And
I would
again-
just say that in our area, it looked like, over the weekend, I'm like, wow, you wouldn't even know that it was swept. All the leaves are back over the grates and so forth.
Right, and it depends how many leaves are in the gutter
Yeah.
already, because as soon as these rains start to come, all of a sudden, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, especially during one of these intense rain events, and it starts to clog up the gutters or the storm sewers, and all of a sudden, residents are calling us in regards to flooding, safety issues with
And I
cars
do
going through
see
there.
contractors still blowing leaves right into the street, which,
Yeah.
is hopefully residents know that's not allowed. Okay, so I just want to make sure we weren't wasting time and energy on something like too early. Then the other thing I noticed is those, where we did the drainage project in the park, in Farmingdale Village over where the arborvitae were planted there.
Yes,
At least half of them look dead.
okay.
I don't know if it's because it's so wet there, but they look like they've all,
That's around that one structure, the rock structure. We'll take a look at that. There is a warranty. I know it's a 1-year
yeah,
warranty,
that's
so.
what I thought I'd tell you ahead of time.
Oh, good move, yeah, let's get that.
Yeah,
'Cause
we haven't heard
they're
from,
pretty big.
we haven't heard from the residents at
Yeah, I
all,
mean,
so.
I didn't come up close, but from a distance, it's like half of them are green and half of them are yellow,
Yeah,
brown.
no, we'll get that checked out tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sorry.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Mayor Dan, I'm sorry if I missed, I might have been in the back room. The sweepers are coming twice in the fall this season? Or they?
It's more, it might be 3 to 4 times. It depends
Still,
strategically, yes.
3 to 4 times they'll come back. So again, and that's typical for our fall season because we always have, we seem to always have a challenge with the leaves.
Right.
And you still can't let them go or the timing, but you are coming, they are coming back. Okay.
Yeah, we have a certain, the way it's allocated through the budget is amount of hours for the last sweep, and I want to say it may be 400 hours, whatever the case is, but those 400 hours may be distributed over 5 occurrences, depending on what, what fall is doing.
Thanks.
Alderman Belzic?
Dan, when is the last leaf pickup this year? Because there's so many still in the tree. Is there a chance that we'll delay that last pickup?
No,
Week of
I-
December 15th. I just called Dorothy today and asked that same question.
right, and I'm not sure, I know there was a question while I was gone, Brian, in regards to leaf pickup, was it being extended at all this year, or no?
No, we just started October 15th to December 15th.
Right, exactly, but due to how slow the leaves are falling, whether or not there was gonna be any type of extensions.
No, I mean, since the pickup still has a few weeks left, the odds are they'll come down by then. So we don't have any extensions, no.
Thanks.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I'm going to again invite our Illinois State Senator John Curran to come and speak to us.
Well, thank you, Mayor and board members. It is a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I have had the privilege and honor of representing Darien for 8 years on the DuPage County Board, and I can tell you it has been a tremendously collaborative relationship with this body over the years, so I greatly appreciate that. I think we've done a lot of good work together between the county and the city of Darien. However, my role has changed. Leader Christine Radogno, our state senator for this area, retired at the beginning of July, as everyone knows, and through a process, I was appointed to fill out the remainder of Leader Radogno's term at the end of July. So in this new role, I will now I now represent Darien in Springfield in our General Assembly in the Illinois State Senate. So while that changes, I don't want our ability to reach out to each other. I'm going to be just as accessible in representing our joint interest in representing the citizens of Darien and Springfield with state issues, and certainly want to continue to work in a collaborative manner with all of you in representing our citizens here. So just thank you for the opportunity to come by, say hello, and reintroduce myself in this new role, and look forward to our future working together. So thank you, Mayor.
John, you have to remind me what district number it is that you are a senator in now?
It is Illinois Senate District 41,
41,
which
okay.
encompasses the entire city of Darien. So that's not the case with every town in the district, but it is nice that all of Darien is contiguous within one Senate district.
That's nice.
So I look forward to this new challenge.
And do you go into Lamont also? If I remember, isn't it? Don't you go into Lamont also?
It does. So
the
it is,
41st?
the district is southeast DuPage County, which is much of what I represented in District 3 on the DuPage County Board, and then it goes into Cook County, in half of Western Springs, half of LaGrange, Indian Head Park, half of Willow Springs, and then it also has all of Lamont, and has all of Homer Glen in Will County.
Holy cow.
So it is, it's a 3-county district.
My gosh.
But certainly at the center of the district, geographically, oddly enough, is the city of Darien.
How good for us. Any questions for Senator Curran?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you,
Yep.
Alderman. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
I'm sure Dan Cronin wasn't happy to lose you.
Well, again,
You were his deputy chairman, yeah.
I also look forward to working collaboratively with my former colleagues on the DuPage County Board on issues of mutual benefit to the residents of DuPage County as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
just an opportunity to serve.
okay. Thank
We
you.
wish you well, John.
Well, thank you
Okay.
very much.
Okay, thanks
Everyone
for
have a good night.
thanks for coming by,
Thank you.
and have a great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Is it at your house or?
No,
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Let's move on to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 171814 in the amount of $557,619.46 from the listed funds. Payroll for the period ended November 9th in the amount of $252,108.58 for a total to be approved of $809,728.04.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Kenny, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Discussion? Then the roll, please.
Kenny.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
McIver. Aye. Marquez.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Clistic.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The report has been approved. Do you want to move on to the monthly report?
The revenue and expenditure report, which reflects the 6 months ended October 31st, has general fund year-to-date revenue of $9,418,251, expenditures of $6,227,707, for a current balance of $3,716,310. Water fund year-to-date revenue of $3,809,627, expenditures of $3,357,543, current balance of $918,521. Motor fuel tax fund year-to-date revenue of $280,280, expenditures of $179,876, current balance of $486,061. Water depreciation fund year-to-date revenue of a deficit of $792, expenditures of $97,709, current balance of $84,649. And the capital improvement fund year-to-date revenue of $164,671, expenditures of $2,910,771, for a current balance of $6,233,816.
Any questions for the city treasurer? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the standing committee reports. Alderman Marquez?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a reminder that the Municipal Services Committee is meeting next Monday night, the 27th, at 6:30 here in the council chambers.
Okay. Alderman McIver?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The next meeting of the Darien Police Committee is scheduled for Monday, I think the 18th of December at 6 p.m. in the training room in the police department across the parking lot, pending agenda items.
Thank you. Alderman Shower?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our next admin finance meeting will be held on Monday, December 4th at 6 p.m. in our upstairs meeting room.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to questions and comments agenda-related. Do any of the aldermen have any questions that you might have not discussed during our work session? And let's move on to I'm sorry, Alderman Belkey.
I have a question on the new business item A.
Yes.
For the variance that we have here. I just wanted a little more background on one of the larger ones that stuck out to me, which is the curb and gutter replacement.
Wait a minute. What item are you talking about?
The curb and gutter replacement.
We don't have that on the agenda?
No, it's part of the item A, new business, is the backup.
Item A is a levy.
For the levy. Right.
Oh, it's on, okay.
So it's tied to that subject.
Oh, okay.
And basically, we're moving funds,
On the
500,000.
On the consent agenda, there's the transfer.
The transfer.
Yeah,
Right.
that's on the consent.
Okay.
Oh, it's under the consent
Okay,
agenda.
there you go.
That- the
Oh,
transfer from the
okay.
I'm sorry, the
Or B on
transfer
the
from the
Item
general
B.
fund.
Okay,
Item B under
gotcha.
the consent? Okay.
Yes. So with the backup, there was a large variance of 451,000.
Yeah, that is typically, we'll budget for the project starting in May, and if the weather breaks early, Dan has the opportunity to start primarily this year with the concrete work. So almost all of the concrete work that was scheduled to start after May, he was able to start beforehand. So is that what you're looking at?
Right.
See,
So it
yeah.
was budgeted for 352,000, and we only spent 106.
No. Okay, we're looking at the public works, we're looking at the public works expenditures?
The capital improvement.
We're looking at the capital.
Oh, capital
projects.
improvement,
Curb
okay.
and gutter
Right.
The audited amount was 588,000. Our original budget was 352,000, but during the budget, when we project our numbers, we anticipated it to come in at 106,000. So instead of 106 that we were anticipating at budget time, it came out at 588, which was the increase of 481. That's what Brian's talking
Yeah.
about, where we started the work in April as opposed to May in the current year's budget because of the weather
Okay.
and the pricing on it.
So as we get into the budget discussions in
Oh, I
February,
see where you, okay.
we'll be under budget, so that will balance out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the consent agenda? All right, then do I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda? Alderman McIver, second by Alderman Belke. The roll, please.
Are we not going to read the items into the record?
Oh. I have a short list, too. How about that? For our viewing audience, there are 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. First is a consideration of a motion to authorize the purchase of 2 new cyber power 1.5 kVA UPS with remote management and 1 new Cisco Catalyst 24-port network switch for the new server room, which includes the hardware installation and configuration in an amount not to exceed $5,422. Do I have a motion to approve? Oh, excuse me. Okay, then item B is a motion to approve the transfer from the general fund to the capital projects fund in the amount of $500,000. And item C is a motion to approve the release of executive session minutes that no longer require confidentiality. And the motioner was Alderman McIver, and the seconder was
Belkey.
Alderman Belke. The roll, please.
McIver.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Clistic.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
7 ayes.
All the items have been approved. Item A under new business is a motion to approve an ordinance levying taxes for the general and special corporate purposes for the fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2017 and ending on the 30th day of April 2018 for the city of Darien. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Chower, seconded by Alderman Belzak. And the dates may sound funny to the viewing audience, but the way that taxes are approved is we are, even though we're going into 2018, we're approving taxes for the previous year. So it's that's the way it works in Illinois.
Actually, if you want a little bit of history behind that,
Yeah.
that dates back to the Depression when a lot of people were going to be losing their property. So the state decided to have a 1-year moratorium on the assessment of real estate taxes. And no politician since then has had the guts to come forward and say, let's catch up and charge 2 years this year.
Wise move, huh? Okay. Okay, do we have a motion or a second?
We
on
do.
it?
We have
Okay.
I noticed you shared it after Senator Kern left out of here, okay?
The roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
McIver.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Clistic.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The motion has been approved. The next item B is a motion to approve an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning the first day of May and ending the 30th day of April in and for the City of Darien Special Service Area Number 1, known as Terra Hill. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Discussion?
Yeah, just an update that this is $5,000. This is our standard amount that we use every year for Terra Hill, for the burn and everything else that goes with it. So,
Yeah, when we first approved this development, that was part of it, to create a special service area, because they have a unique parcel of property that needed to be taken care of. The roll, please.
Shower.
aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Clistic.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
McIver.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The motion has been approved. Next item is questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Alderman Marquez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Earlier this week, Alderman Belzak sent out an email. Well, actually, he sent it to Mr. Vanna, and Mr. Vanna sent it out to the rest of us. And what we learned last week was that the Cancer Smashers are holding a very large fundraiser at Chuck's, where they'll be using the whole facility basically for a major fundraiser. I think it's all dedicated to Joey Ventimiglia, the little boy that we all know who's fighting cancer. And the only problem is it's the same night as our Citizen of the Year banquet. And there's a number of us who probably would like to go to both. There's probably a lot of residents who'd like to go to one or go to both. Have we thought about
They've changed the date already.
They did.
Cancer Smashers changed it to March 24th.
Well, they did. I
They did?
thought
Oh,
they were
look at the
locked in,
email.
Tom.
I
I
Did
sent
they
a
come
group
late?
email out on Sunday after I've talked to them.
I didn't see a new
Didn't
date.
see it.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, not with the new date.
Yeah,
but
the-
the fact
Right.
that-
No, I
They
saw
just,
The fact that it switched.
Yeah, that
Mr.
just came
Tischler just came back today, actually, with the new date.
Oh.
They've changed it to March 24th.
They changed
And I'm so
their date.
glad we found out, and I think it was Alderman Belzak let us know that that was being considered, and we reached out right away to the Tischlers, and they were still in discussion about a date,
Okay.
and so they were able to change it to March 24th.
That's
So
good news then.
we're good, yeah.
We
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I wanted to remind everybody that the Citizen of the Year nominations are being open for reception, and you can drop them off at City Hall by January 2nd. You can also do that online under the city's website under News and Announcements. There's a link to the Citizen of the Year committee. So go ahead and look at it there. And the event will be on March 3rd.
Now, I know that some of the suggestions we sent to the committee was to approach all of the organizations in Darien to come forward with suggestions for nominees for that is, and have they pursued that angle?
That I don't know. I can follow up on that.
Okay. Like for the Lions, have you received any communications from the Darien Days about,
Nominating somebody?
about nominating somebody?
follow up with
Obviously, it has to be a Darien resident, but,
Right.
okay.
Oh, I think something came up about whether it could be a couple. Have we decided that?
Well, we've done it already.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
Viams,
that's what I
Robin Shar Viam were our Citizen of the Year one year.
Okay.
And
Somebody
so,
did, I saw a
we,
comment
yeah,
on that.
it
on
wouldn't be, yeah, it
Facebook.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I did too, yeah.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a Facebook comment, so maybe the city would like to reply to that comment or, kind of update the Facebook post because that was.
Was
one
there
of
a,
the
I don't think we comment to the Facebook postings, do we?
I answer, we typically answer questions, so if somebody says, can there be, or we might answer that, but the comments we haven't answered.
Okay.
Or maybe update the post to remind people that it doesn't necessarily have to be an individual, perhaps?
Did the individual put their name in that
Yeah,
Facebook?
that-
So
yeah, I
we can
believe
reach
so.
out to them that way, that one.
Yeah, sometimes we'll email
Yeah.
if it's,
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
also.
first.
Okay.
Also, there was another item that came up last year where there was some confusion on if somebody could be nominated if they're an elected official or a paid position, and then that was defined as just the city of Darien. So if it's some other entity other than the city, they would be
Library.
eligible.
That's right. That's one of the criteria in the actual ordinance itself, that it can't be an active city council member.
Right.
Okay. Any other details on that? January 2nd is the when they're going to,
Yes,
Is the
that's
cutoff
when
date for
the
that?
cutoff
Okay.
date.
okay, if there's no other questions, comments, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderman McIver, seconded by Alderman Shower. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Look at that.
Happy Thanksgiving.